Jared, and I'm back. Hey guys, thanks for coming and and making this a spectacular Warriors Quest show. Man, I have such great news. All right, so tonight we're going to go over what my favorite top my favorite or my top 5 ways to find a living donor. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. So my special guest was going to be La Helen Baldwin. In fact, she was going to be my guest last week. All right. But much like last week, I had to reschedule her for this week. I had to reschedule her again. All right. She's battling with lupus. All right. And she had a bad seizure, and she's in the emergency room at the hospital. And so please, if you would have your thoughts, positive vibes, prayers, go out to La Helen Baldwin. All right. And please pray that she may recover well. Okay. So I'm improvising, and instead of having my special guest on tonight, I'm going to talk about my favorite ways to find a living donor. Hey, what up, Kathy? Kathy Mullen. All right. Yes, that's right. So the 5 top ways to get a living donor. All right. Hope my friend gets a kidney soon. I hope a lot of people get a kidney soon. All right. So in the last couple of days, I was listening to, I felt very inspired, and I was listening to a Christian artist. His name is Torrin Wells. Comment in the comment section if you've heard of Torrin Wells, Christian singer. And in fact, I follow him on Instagram. Boom. All right. I follow him on Instagram, and he was doing a live. He was doing a live broadcast. And I found him live, and he was talking about this new song. And so it prompted me to look to hear this song and to listen to it. And I felt inspired after I listened to it. I asked Alexa. You all know Alexa, right? I said, Alexa, put all God's children. Play all God's children on repeat. And so I listened to it repeatedly so that I could get familiar with it and understand the lyrics. And I just felt inspired by the lyrics. All right. So again, comment below if you've heard of Torrin Wells and if you've heard of the song All God's Children. All right. No better no better day than today. Hey, what up, Steve? No better day than today to talk about how we're all God's children. So I hope that all goes well in Washington, D.C., and I hope that we can have as much peace as possible. And so we're all God's children. We are. And I love that song that I listened to today. Thank you for the nice and kind words. So I felt inspired by this song by Torrin Wells, All God's Children. All right. And I started thinking about all the kidney disease patients out there who are struggling. All of the people who, much like La Helen Baldwin, all right, who had a bad seizure, all of the other people who are struggling who have had seizures as well, or maybe nice. I was just gonna say, I mean, how is Steve doing? He's not far away from DC. And how are some of the kidney warriors out there who are struggling with some other things, fatigue, and all of the other things that come along with it. There are so many kidney warriors out there. We're talking about, if you think about all of the people in the United States, just the United States. I mean, we could include Canada too, and Mexico, but all of Northern America. But just to include, the United States. We're talking about over 600,000 people that are struggling with kidney disease. And so that song, that I listened to repeatedly, and Alexa helped me out. I had it on repeat. All God's children. So listen to it if you get a chance. It's very inspiring. We're all God's children. And I'm hoping, all right, that I can relay that same inspiration that I felt through that song today with what I'm going to talk about, my 5 top ways to find a living donor. So that's what we're going to talk about. So I want your participation, everybody. So please, when I talk about this stuff, I want it to be interactive. Okay. In fact, what I'd like to do is I'd like to have the comment section just be on fire. I want the comment section to be on fire. All right. I want the comment section to be on fire. All right. That's what I want. All right. And so please, if you would, all right, what I'd also like you to do is, because I want it to be on fire, all right, I want it to be on fire. I'd love it, okay, if you all would please like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you're watching on YouTube, and share. All right, because if you do that, it helps this get out there to as many people as possible. And just kidney disease patients alone, okay, we've got over 600,000 people roughly in the United States that are struggling with kidney disease. So I know that this, could help somebody tonight when we talk about the 5 top ways, all right, to find a living donor. And I know Steve's at ground zero. He's in and around the DC area. All right, and so what I'd also like to do is I'd love to see the comments when we're talking about this participation, burning fire. Don't be stingy. That's right. Don't be stingy. All right. No stingy people here. All right. No stingy people here. All right. Smash that button. Smash it. Boom. Smash it. All right. So we're gonna get back to my original, man, I'm so excited to be on this broadcast, and I'm glad you guys have joined me tonight. The other good news I had, and I'm going to mention this, and I'm going to get back to my topic, all right, is that roughly, and if I'm not mistaken, Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, my very first broadcast of the Warriors Quest show was March 6th, 2019. And one of my guests on that original broadcast was Angie Essery of Canada. All right. And I just got confirmation that just shortly before Christmas, she got a Christmas gift. That's right. She got a Christmas gift, and she got a kidney transplant. All right. Angie Essery, who was on my original, the very first Warriors Quest show, broadcast that I did, she has had a successful kidney transplant surgery. So, man, I'm so happy for Angie Essery. And I'm probably going to go live separately from this to talk about that in more detail. But if you get a chance, and if you're connected with her in any way, celebrate that, because we want to celebrate that every time a kidney warrior has success. All right, Lisa, man, thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Donors rock. They do. We need more of them. We have a shortage of living donors, and we want more of them. So we're going to get back to, again, how many, we're going to get back to my 5 top ways to find a living donor. Okay. I'm going to talk about that a little bit, but again, please subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, and if you're not, go to YouTube and subscribe. All right. And again, don't be stingy. All right. Everybody wants a slice, so please share. All right, please share and make sure that we get enough out there for everybody. Okay, all right. Everybody's hungry. Everybody wants a little bit, right? So I'm going to share my screen when we do this. We're going to talk about the 5 top ways to find a living donor. All right. I kind of I had entitled it as living donor instead of kidney donor, because this could also work with somebody trying to find a living donor. All right, glad to be able to hear it. Even though I have a transplant, I got my kidney on December 5th, 2018, early Christmas gift. So you got yours before Christmas in 2018. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that with us, Kathy. So we're going to get into this, and this can work for living, liver donors. Can work for a variety of living donors, and not just kidney donors. But with my personal experience, all right, I may slip up and say kidney donor, a living kidney donor. And if I do, then just to understand that it's just out of routine or habit. But I'm going to share my screen here, okay? And the screen's going to go a little small, all right? Here we go. So, all right, so we're going to talk about these 5 ways where we can find a living kidney donor. All right, the comment section needs to be on fire, people. So please, all right, please comment. All right, we got 2 more comments. All right, here we go. It's a blessing that you've. All right, yeah, thank you. June 29th, 2016, you got yours. Thanks, Lisa. All right, so I've got a very special co-host who's just arrived. I'm going to bring him on, and y'all know what we do when we have a co-host come on. We're going to do a very special intro when he comes on. So I've got a Jonathan Traylor who I'm bringing on as a co-host to help me talk about this. And so y'all know the drill. All right, it's video intro time. So we're going to give him a very special welcome. All right, here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Where is it? Hey, what up?
What's up, Jared?
Hey, good to see you, man. Thanks for coming on at short notice, man.
No problem, no problem. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you well.
Okay. All right, man. Thanks for having me, man. No problem at all. I enjoy this.
Very nice. Thank you, man. It's so what happened is my special guest was going to be Helen Baldwin, and she has kidney failure because of lupus, like we briefly talked about. You and I talked last night, and she rescheduled with me last week because she had been in and out of the hospital 2 or 3 times in the last month, and so today she had a bad seizure. And she was in the emergency room and messaged me, and I said, don't even worry about it. And so she's going to hit me back up when she's feeling better, maybe in the next couple of weeks or something. But so anyway, so I decided to talk about my 5 top ways to find a living donor. Now, I put this on my Instagram recently. And so I'm going to be I'm going to be sharing the screen so you and I can kind of talk about this. And you can give your 2 cents, maybe your 3 cents, or maybe even your nickel, whatever change you have. All right.
Okay. All right.
So while we're doing this, again, I want people to, I want, if you haven't heard any of this before, I want you to feel like maybe you're surprised, like the guy coming up in the corner right there, man, he looks surprised, so
it's really cool.
I know. Yeah. So he looks really surprised. So, if something like that, if you do hear something, maybe you think is cool, comment in the comment section that you like it, and then subscribe. All right. Make sure again that you go to YouTube and subscribe so that we can build our YouTube channel. So we're going to get right into it. We've got some more comments here. I love it, man. That comment section is almost already, oh my gosh, it is on fire. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So thank you for commenting. Keep it going.
Engagement. I love engagement, and I love when people comment.
Yes, thanks. That's Bella. Man, your show was on fire Monday night, Bella. It was, man.
What's up, Bella Langston from Sisters with Kidney Disease?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to get into it. So, man, I'm happy to do this. So I'm going to be sharing my screen while we do this, okay? So we're going to go small so that we can see the screen. So what these are not, these are kind of my favorite top 5 ways to find a living donor. Now, I had some really some other ones that I liked. I just didn't include them in the top 5, but we can certainly talk about other ideas as well. But so this is what I have right here. I apologize if maybe it looks small when you look at the screen, but the 5 top choices I have, all right, or methods that I think are going to help you become successful in finding a living donor would be number 1, a live video on social media. All
Uh-huh.
right.
Yeah.
So why do you think that that a live video can help somebody become very successful on social media?
Well, it's a great way to express your personal story, and
Mhm.
to get your story out there in a quick, brief video. You wouldn't probably want to have one that would be real long, because you only have a certain amount of time to garner attention before somebody will go ahead and move on. But you could give a brief a summary of your story on there, and it gives someone the idea of what you're going through personally, and it's just a great way to get your story out there.
Right, it is. And the really cool thing about video, like right now, is
Yeah.
you see facial expressions, and
Hmm.
when somebody gets to see your face and your facial expressions where you look surprised or sad, all right, kidney disease is not fun.
No, no.
Along with it, it's a roller coaster,
Yeah.
and you could be up one day, down the other day.
Yeah.
You could be like my special guest that was going to be on tonight and have a bad seizure. There
Mm.
are there are multiple bad things that can happen,
Yeah.
when you're struggling with kidney disease. And
Yeah.
so when someone sees a face on a live video like this, all right, it's kind of like reality TV. You know what I mean?
Oh
They
yeah.
almost they you get more connected with them because
Yeah.
you see their emotions from their face, from their facial expressions.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No doubt. No
I
doubt.
mean,
And
it,
that facial expression can, let you know how that person's feeling, and what they're going through, and it could give a personal connection. Someone can actually, sympathize with how you're feeling by that.
right, exactly. They 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 see your facial expressions and they can tell whether you're sad, whether maybe you're so sad that you're actually crying, and they see
Yeah.
your facial expressions. And
Yep.
they it's kind of like with the reality TV. I always tease my wife, all right, is that I always tell her I'm not going to watch The Bachelorette or I'm not going to watch The Bachelor, and she'll start to watch it. And Jonathan, what happens is I'll have it'll be on and I'll be doing something else, and all of a sudden I'm commenting and remarking because I think that person's just an idiot, and all of a sudden I'm commenting,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
so that's what happens was when you see their facial expressions, you
Yep.
kind of feel like you almost know them. You know what I mean? And you
Oh
get
yeah.
connected. There's a
Yep.
connection.
And that's what you need. You need a personal connection. You need something that's going to, garner that personal connection, because you never know where that video may get in front of, or who it may get in front of, that they will get that personal connection and want to step forward to be a
Right.
donor.
Right. Well said. Well said. So anyway, so what I put here, and again, everyone, this is it's not like the 5 commandments. It's just it's not set in stone, but this is just kind of what I put down, and it could probably be altered, and maybe you have your ideas too. So please comment in the comment section. I'm seeing some comments about church. I love that. Church is a great idea. So a live video
Yes.
or broadcast on social media is by far and away my favorite way to try to find a living donor. Something magical happens when you appear on screen. We've kind of talked about that already. Your viewers will see that you're human. They
Yep.
see your facial expressions like we talked about. They hear your voice, your inflection.
Yep.
They sense your emotions, your feelings. All right. And it's your reality TV show with you as the director, So,
Yeah.
what I used to do, I don't do it entirely anymore, but I used to actually practice a little bit offline in front of a mirror.
Okay.
I did, yeah. You
Okay.
know, so but you may want if you're already familiar with being in front of a camera, then maybe you can just do it and just kind of get used to it. But some people aren't. you know.
Yeah.
But I would suggest use earbuds, have plenty of lighting. You know, you could
You,
use StreamYard, which is what we're using now, but you
you
could
could actually
broadcast.
make the video on your phone and then always delete it if it's not something that you
E-
like. So you can
Exactly.
practice on your phone as well.
Right. Yeah, you use
Yeah.
your own mobile phone, practice, delete it, upload it later.
Mm-hmm.
We use StreamYard, but you don't have to use StreamYard, even though there is a free version. If you want more information, you can get more information about StreamYard. But if you just use your Facebook, or you could just go live with Instagram, without having to use a third-party platform, or like you put it very well, Jonathan, is you could, record it from your mobile phone and then just upload it later. I love that. So we've got another, I'm going to post a
Yep.
comment here.
Yep.
Your community church job, business flyer, magnet cards, poster, social media, asking announcement, news, radio letter. Good comments, you guys. I love that. Patricia, thanks for watching. News
Yeah.
outlets,
Yeah.
radio. So we've got some good
And if I
comments here.
could
Keep the
add
comments coming.
T-shirts into that.
Yes, yes, and that's actually that's on my list as well, and so that's very high on my list, and so I've got that as number
Okay.
3, and we'll get to that in a moment. So the second one that I have here, and I again apologize when I'm sharing my screen, it's kind of small, but the number 2 on my list is a poster on social media. So it's
Sure.
very similar to a video, because you can actually promote yourself with a poster, and sometimes you don't have to be real creative. You and I talked about this last night, right?
Yeah.
You can keep
Yeah.
it really simple.
Right.
You can
Right.
make a photo, with text. You don't necessarily need special effects. You could
Yeah.
use, either an iPhone, or you could use, or just post a picture of yourself without even any special effects or any sort of app.
Yeah.
You
And
could.
then if I could just drop this little nugget in for people out there that may come across the video, the software PicsArt is very easy to use.
It
It's
really is.
very very simple, and you can make a really elaborate poster with that if you want to take the time, or you can make something simple. And a lot of times, less is more.
Right,
So,
it is.
mhm.
Yeah, I always remember that when I go to Les Schwab.
Yeah.
So we've got the poster as number 2. It's a very close number 2 because it's almost my number 1. But when they see your photo on something, it's a lot like the video again, where they can see your facial expressions, or they can almost feel connected to you emotionally when they see you on a photo.
Mm-hmm.
And then that'll help drive emotional connections.
Yeah.
Just like you said, it's important to feel the connection, because most living donors won't feel prompted, inspired to donate unless they feel like a connection.
Right. And much like the video, a poster can give that same feel too, where you can feel a connection from the poster.
Amen.
It's one of the reasons why that when I create a poster, I do try to make something or design something that'll sort of be eye catching, because of the attention span that we now have as we're so social that you got to almost have something that will grab a little bit of attention. And so you can use different colors and things like that. You can adjust your text on PicsArt to make it look eye catching. Like I say, you don't have to go over elaborate with it, but you can do some really neat designs with PicsArt.
You really can. So if you look at the background that I have on the screen, you and I talked about this yesterday, is that I made this with PicsArt.
Mm-hmm.
So the font is not from PicsArt. The font's supposed to kind of look medieval, it's Gothic looking, but I uploaded the font and then used it with PicsArt, and this is done with PicsArt. And so PicsArt is fairly user friendly. There's a learning curve a little bit, but especially if you've not used any sort of editor like that, but
Yeah.
once you start using it, you can get more familiar with it. You dig right in.
Mhm.
It's really intuitive. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. Very useful, user friendly. You know, I mean, I've only been using it a few months, and I've already, learned how to use so many different features on it. So it's very easy to use.
So it's Patricia, that nice, very nice feedback. Good comment here. Getting out on the street corner with an advertisement boards, any way you can to promote yourself. Seriously, folks.
Sure.
It's important to be very creative,
Yeah.
very creative. And so, I realize that, okay, that again, these are some ideas that I had that I have that I think that can drive success. But uh, even though these are my top five, all right, that we're talking about, that doesn't mean that you should only use these five methods.
Yeah.
Be very creative and try to use as many methods as possible. I just feel these top five are my favorite, but there are some other ones that are very close, and we can talk about those too. But
Yeah.
so the next one, so before I get to my third one, I want to talk a little bit about keeping it simple. All right, because
Yeah.
when you're making a poster, whether it's from PicsArt or any sort of other app from an
Yeah.
iPhone or
Mhm.
Android mobile device, you want to keep it simple. All right,
Yeah.
especially when you're a beginner. But
Yeah.
even when you're not a beginner, you have to keep it simple because when somebody's going to see this post either on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or somewhere, or if you're going to put this poster at church,
Mhm.
okay, the attention span's going to be very short.
Yeah.
And so you've got to keep it simple. And what I mean by that is don't use more than 4 to 5 words on the photo or poster
Mhm.
because the focal point is not going to be the text. Okay, we
Yeah.
just talked about trying to get some sort of connection.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to get a connection, the connection is not when someone reads text.
Yeah.
Okay, we just talked about the video, and now we're talking about a poster.
Right.
Both you and I, Jonathan, have talked about facial expressions
Oh,
and
sure.
trying to get some sort of connection, and
Yeah.
you're not going to get that from text. Now, a
Right.
little bit like you may feel poorly for somebody when you read something,
Yeah.
but right off the bat, you get that connection when you see somebody's face.
Yeah.
And so the focal point should always be on the poster, the person, and don't have more than 4 to 5 words on the poster.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to put more words, you can do that in the comments section.
Yeah.
And you can add more text in the comments section and be very descriptive, but
Yeah.
don't make something that's like a novel. Okay, no one's gonna read something that's huge and lengthy like a book. They just don't. They don't have that much time when they're scrolling
Yeah.
through their feed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I see this a lot on social media where people will make a post and they'll have a post a mile long with a picture. And no one, I mean, I'll be honest with you, a lot of people scroll past that stuff
Right.
because it doesn't garner attention, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you read a little bit of it and you're like, okay,
And you're gone.
you moved on.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it just happens. So you got to almost say something, eye catching, something that's going to, garner attention. Again, I keep using that word, but it's really what it boils down to is
It
just
really is. Yeah.
getting someone's attention right away. I like
Mm-hmm.
to use emojis. Like I use the siren one. I use a firework one, or some sort of emoji in front of my text when I'm doing a post.
You like fire?
Yeah, that's cool, Jared. That's cool. But like that,
Yeah.
you got my attention. So that's what you kind
Right.
of got to think is like, what can I do? What can I explore that's going to gather some sort of attention?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's true. You
So
know, because you do want to catch somebody by surprise, and you want to get their attention. Because when you do that, then all of a sudden they're, whoa, what was that? And so
yeah,
there are different ways to do that. But
Yeah.
but keep it simple. Again, I want to emphasize that is keep it simple. You know,
Yeah.
as um, living kidney donor needed or urgent need for a donor. And then
Yeah.
if you want to be creative, you can, because sometimes people, if they see something repeatedly, they sometimes it becomes like, I'm going to use a dated term here, white noise. Okay, because I don't know
Yeah.
I
I
don't know
remember.
if some of the younger generation know what white noise is, but you know what I mean is that you see
Yeah.
something repeatedly
Yeah.
and you don't pay attention to it, right?
Yeah.
And so
That's
I've learned that I got to mix it up. Like if I just put, Jasmine needs a kidney on all
yeah.
of my posters,
Yeah.
and all of the followers from that page see that every day, it
Yeah.
almost becomes like white noise. So you got to
Yeah.
mix it up a little bit, but
Yeah.
keep it simple, 4 to 5 words.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree.
All right, so start out with easy to use mobile apps. We've talked about PicsArt. Another really easy one to use is Canva. All right,
Canva.
so you can use
Yes.
Canva either on a mobile device or on a PC.
Yes.
Canva is really good to use, folks. It's really easy to
Yeah.
use. Another one that is super easy because not only is it easy to use, but it has templates, and the templates you just put in a photo and it does the work for you. Is
Yeah.
Photolab. Now,
Photolab.
Photolab is generally, I believe, available both on iOS and Android,
Hmm.
and you could go to a PC as well. So
Yeah.
after you've gotten a little more experience, then maybe you can get, I don't know, you can get a little bit more creative and maybe use some other things. But
Background eraser.
yeah,
Those type of things.
but again, keep it simple.
Yeah.
Even when you get more experience, don't use more than 4 to 5 words because
Yep.
nobody's going to read a bunch of text on a poster. They just don't do it. And they
Yep.
want to, you're going to get more attention by using a photo.
Yep.
So the number three on my list, all right, is the
All right.
T-shirt.
Oh,
T-shirt.
okay.
All
Yeah.
right. So last week, when I came live because my guest had to reschedule, I came live and I talked about designaShirt.com. All
Yeah.
right. So comment if you would please, anybody who used that last week from my previous broadcast, and I'd like to get any feedback. I'd like to see comments from people that maybe have gone to that website and they've maybe started it. If you have any questions more about it.
So if
But
you don't mind, Jared, I'll interject and let you
yeah,
know that I actually
absolutely.
personally use Design a Shirt.
Oh, right on,
And
right on.
and I got 5 free shirts from them.
Sweet.
So, and I actually had one for me, my wife, my daughter, my son, and I gave one to my mom.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
I was able to put my Facebook page on the front.
Uh-huh.
Then I put the Facebook logo and Instagram on the back, and I also added I need a kidney, and
All
that
right.
basically you could add, locate me there.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and it was a really, really. I mean, you're a walking billboard at that point.
Oh, very cool.
So,
You are a walking billboard, and
uh
that's
huh.
that's interesting that you use that terminology because in my little my Instagram post that I did that I'm referring to right here, that's almost verbatim what I put here. A
Yeah.
carefully crafted T-shirt can make you feel as though, and almost word for word here, you're a walking billboard. So I
So
use that
true.
same, yeah, I use
So
that
true.
same verbiage. But you are a walking billboard,
Hmm.
and much like the poster, all right, keep it simple,
Yeah.
especially on a T-shirt, because again, they're not going to spend a whole lot of time to read a bunch of words on a T-shirt,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
keep it extremely simple with the T-shirt. Make it easy to read. All right,
Yeah.
and um, I I really emphasize to keep it simple on a poster, but um, not only would I keep it simple on the T-shirt, but on the poster and T-shirt, make sure that your font that you use is easy to read, very legible.
Yeah. Also, I opted to use black because the lettering seemed to pop off of black
Right.
a
Okay.
lot better. And the color choice I used was green and white.
Okay.
White is like one of the first colors that your eyes are drawn to.
Right. It is.
Green is like the color, for kidney
It
disease.
is. Yeah. It's a great
So
color.
I used both of those as a combo, and I really felt like it was, eye catching.
Hmm.
That color green can be much like your color on the
I know. Yeah.
bottom
The
there.
lime green. I love
The
lime green.
lime green. I mean,
Yeah.
imagine a shirt with, John. I'll just use me as an example. Jonathan needs a kidney in that
Uh-huh.
lime green. I mean, you can't miss that. You can't miss it
Right.
on a black T-shirt.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah,
I love the lime green for that same reason. I do
yeah,
because it's just very eye catching, and
yeah.
you see it right away. By the way, tell me if you see this. Let me. I forgot to put the names on here. Let me put those back. There we go. Tell
Okay,
me if you see that little guy in the corner.
I
Is
see
there a
him.
little is there a little guy in the corner?
Yeah, he's dancing.
Oh my gosh. Is there a little comment it below if you see a little guy dancing in the top right hand corner? Lisa Baxter, do you see that little guy in the top right hand corner dancing? Federico! Federico. Oh my gosh, thanks for joining. Federico is a man. He's kind of a dual threat, if I'm not mistaken. Federico is a living kidney donor, and he's also right now in need of a kidney, if I'm not mistaken. He's also looking for a kidney. So, Federico, thank you for watching. Thanks for joining us. Yes, she sees the
My
little.
prayers go out to you, Federico.
Thank you. God bless you, Federico. We
Bless you.
want you to have health, wellness, and continued success.
Yes.
All right, Kathy's back. Kathy, comment below if you see the little guy dancing in the top right-hand corner. Let me know if you see that little guy. There we go. That little guy's getting down. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
All right. So the text needs to be simple, all right, and it needs to be easy to read. Okay, because think about it. If you're going to be a walking billboard, you want your billboard to be easy to read so that somebody is walking by, it's easy for them to read. So think about it as if it's easy to read, it's got to be a simple font, and then it's got to be somewhat large. Wouldn't you agree? Because you don't want it to be too small, because then it's harder to read. You know what I mean? So have it at a good size so that if somebody's walking by, they can see it real easily, and it could be easily seen by them. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, sir. I sure do.
Yeah, so try something as simple as kidney donor needed ASAP, and then your phone number or the phone number for the transplant hospital. And again, don't use fancy fonts. Don't get too creative with photos or logos. I know that sometimes people want that their team logo because they make it real yeah, they make it a real team effort, and they say team and whatever the last name is. And I get that because it causes a enthusiasm to do that. And I get that. I do. But what happens is if you make it too long and lengthy, they're not going to read it very easily. So just keep it simple. Phone number, if you want to put a name there, like, Jonathan needs a kidney, I'm not against that. Just, because then it makes it personal,
Yeah.
sometimes you
Yeah.
personalize it, make it personable, but you don't necessarily need that too much. Maybe I need a kidney, and you can have, like, I don't know, an arrow. Just if you want to be somewhat creative, be creative, but just make it easy to read and keep it to 4 to 5 words or characters so that it can be seen easily, and it's not, some sort of weird, crowded T-shirt that it's hard to read.
I actually had added the green ribbon to mine.
Okay.
Just as a tool to maybe get some attention.
Sure.
The real bright green.
Right.
The ribbon.
The
for
icon
kidney
for
disease.
kidney disease. Yeah.
Yes. And so I added that. And I think that was a great tool too. But
Yeah.
you don't exactly have to use that. You could get something that would be kind of eye catching or what have you. So it's definitely, you can definitely become creative, but like we're saying, is less is more. So you want to make it kind of simple, but yet you want to get your point across too.
Right, right. And so I'm gonna share my screen again um, while I do that, and I'm gonna talk about the next thing here on my list. So the third, what I've got here again, I'm going to summarize what we've talked about so far is the live videos, number one.
Yep.
Number two, poster on social media.
Uh-huh.
My third one that I want to, that I've talked about already is the T-shirt. And now number four is text on a car. Now this can be, you could be creative with this, and that's why I put text on a car, because you could literally buy. It's not, well, I almost want to call it chalk, but it's not necessarily chalk. It's 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 like this material that you can use to write on windows, but it doesn't stain your car. I'm forgetting what it's called, so I
It's
apologize.
like it's window chalk or window.
Right, and when you think of chalk, you think of that stuff from a chalkboard, but you know what I mean is that
Yeah.
they may even call it chalk. I can't remember the right
Yeah.
terminology. Maybe they do, window chalk, but um, so you can buy that and you can write on the window, and it's not going to stain the window. It'll be there. I think you may have to redo it, after a couple of weeks or something, but because of weather, rain, or whatever. But you could use that, and you can write on the window the same thing you would put virtually on the T-shirt
Oh
and
yeah.
put it on the window. You could
Yeah.
be creative and put it on your back window,
Mm-hmm.
your rear window, or your side windows.
Yeah.
Be creative, and you can kind of use your car as a billboard. Because guess what? If you're blessed enough as a kidney warrior to still work, then if you have your car parked at work in a parking lot, or if you go to the store, it's parked.
Yeah.
The mall,
So
kind of pre-pandemic, even going to the mall frequently, which we don't necessarily always do anymore. But
yeah.
if you're going to park your car and
Yeah.
it's just going to sit there, you might as well have something that people are going to see when they do park themselves.
Yeah. Or a grocery store or gas
Right.
station or in traffic. So at a red light, you never know who's going to get behind you or in front of you or beside you. So um, I actually had a family member that would make me vinyl lettering stickers.
Really?
And yeah, and she made me a sticker that went on my back window, and
Uh-huh.
I actually incorporated one of those codes, uh,
Okay.
the QR codes.
Oh, right, right,
Yeah,
right.
and I
Okay.
had that where it would go directly to a
And
website that I had made.
you just scan it with your mobile
You
phone.
scan it
Okay.
with your mobile phone, and it went
Uh-huh.
right to my website. And at that time, it was Hope for Jonathan,
Uh-huh.
and it was all about my story, and it had I was able to put the big stuff on the website, my personal story, just all kind of different things that I wanted to put that didn't necessarily need to be just put on social media as a one big giant post.
Okay.
That's why I try to explain to people the benefits also of having a website is you put the big stuff on that, and you put the little droplets in on social media, but you use the website to make the big drops of information, big loads of information.
Right.
and
Absolutely.
and yeah, so anyway, that's what I did. I had a sticker made that went on the back windshield with uh, the QR code that directed them to my website, which
Mm-hmm.
I thought was pretty cool. The sticker itself said, "I need a kidney,"
Okay.
and
The sticker itself did that then. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So that's just another ideal.
No, I like that. I like that a lot. You know, um, because then that's why I just put text on a car when I put my fourth sort of top favorite here, my top five is, because there are several ways to put text on a car. You could be extremely creative. There are different ways to do it. When my twin brother and I were looking for a living kidney donor for my sister-in-law, Jeff's wife. All
Yeah.
right, he and I bought. We had it customized, and we had magnets made for our car, and then I put the magnet on the side of my car, and
Okay.
so that's what we did. But there again, that worked. That worked for us, and I had people remarking and observing it when I was parked.
Sure.
And but there are several ways to put text on a car, and
Yeah.
so each way is very unique and very successful.
Yeah.
Again, it's kind of like building a T-shirt. There's not just one way to promote yourself on a
Okay.
T-shirt. You could be really creative to do that
Yeah.
on the car.
Well, car magnets are very effective. I see them all
Mhm.
the time. I see them
Yeah,
all the time.
right. And again, similar to the T-shirt, similar to the poster. You want to keep it simple. Keep it simple in the text, make it easy to read without fancy fonts. And again, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but it really is effective. Is keep it only to 4 to 5 words, or as few words as you can, because they're not going to spend a lot of time reading something. You want to keep it really short.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like we said, we've been reiterating that less is more. So
It is.
your name, your phone number, an email address, maybe your possibly instead of your phone number, your transplant coordinator's number. Um,
Right.
yeah,
Hmm.
but you don't need much more than that, really. I mean, your blood type, kind of matters,
It,
but
it really doesn't,
yeah,
because
because of the paired
paired
exchange
exchange
program.
program,
Yeah,
right? You almost, and I know that Kent Bressler, I'll echo, maybe not verbatim, but I'll echo what he states is that he's a big proponent of not putting the blood type, and I agree with
yeah,
him, because what you're doing is almost limiting yourself.
yeah,
Where if you put the blood type on there, hey Uncle Jim, hey buddy, thanks for watching tonight.
yeah. And
Um,
what?
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You probably have
yeah.
had conversations with him about
Oh
that,
yes.
right?
Oh yes. You kind of limit yourself because if a person's not knowledgeable of the paired exchange program and they see that you need to know and they're not knowledgeable about how blood types work, then they'll say, "Well, I'm an A and I won't be able to help them." You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
And then
And
they want to help you, but they think they can't. Yeah.
right, right. So it's best to have the transplant hospital, go ahead and tell them that they're not eligible.
Mm-hmm.
So, direct them to the transplant hospital, let them screen them, let them give them all the possible possibilities and options, and then let them finally make that final decision. Hey, this person's not a candidate for you. And, let's move on to the next one.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that because the thing is that you want, especially especially when you don't want to feel burdened. Okay, sometimes you almost feel like you've got to explain a lot of stuff to someone, and you don't.
Yeah.
Again, not only keep it simple with your verbiage when you're promoting yourself, but keep it simple when you're explaining it. And
Yeah.
that way, what you really want to do is direct them to the transplant coordinator,
Yeah.
because that's the person who can really explain things.
Yeah.
And then that way you don't feel awkward,
Yeah.
because one of the things that I hear often by people is that, I don't know what to say, or I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Or
feel,
you may
yeah,
run them off. You may run them off by telling them something that's not necessarily the right thing.
yeah,
And so it's best to, if you're not very knowledgeable, to go ahead and give them the transplant coordinator and direct them to the coordinator and let them do what they do. They're going to explain
exactly.
everything in great detail to them.
Hmm. Hey, Candy, thanks for watching, man. I hope you're doing well. I know that you had kind of a rough time at the end of the year, so God bless you and your family, Candy. I appreciate your support and I value your friendship.
Thanks,
Um,
Andy. Thanks for watching.
and thanks for watching. And Kathy, thanks for your feedback and your comments because, the comments really helps with the engagement. And that's, I put here earlier, a little bit earlier is that I want the comment section, all right, to be on fire because when the comment section is on fire, all right, that leads to this post becoming more visible with the algorithm that social media uses. And then when it's more visible, we can reach more people. And the idea by reaching more people isn't so they see this ugly mug. It's so that we can actually help more people, because they don't want to see this thing.
If you would have kept that fire going out, you would have some smoked Jonathan there.
That's right. You would have been cooked. So, but oh, thanks, Candy. Oh, and we got our homeboy watching too. Thanks for watching, Kyle.
What's
Thanks
up,
for
Kyle?
what up, Kyle from Canada.
Yeah.
So many amazing ideas and tips. Yes, we can always learn from each other. It's a great kidney disease community, and when we're bouncing ideas off each other and helping each other, we grow. And that's what we need to do. Is we need to be a growing sort of community.
Let
All right,
me throw a shameless plug in for Kyle.
Please.
Kyle has a website, Kidney Warrior Merch. He's on Facebook, and he has Kidney Warrior Merch. He actually has a Warriors wall where he's sharing other Warrior stories. Go check it out, guys.
Yeah, check it out, and when you see it, share it, please. His stuff really is. It's good. It's really for a good cause. So share it when you see it.
Yep.
So we're coming to the end here, but I want to talk about the fifth one. Now, after we've talked about the fifth one, I want to emphasize again is there are so many good ways to find a living donor that these are my top 5, but I could have made a top 10. There are others on that I think are very good, and we'll talk about those, what I call almost made my top 5, if you know what I mean. And so to summarize again what we've talked about, if you've come in late, all right, the first one, my number one way to find a living donor is live video. All right, because on live video, social media is the best. But even if it's not social media, if you just make a live video and put it in an email and send it off an email, it's good too. But a live video on a broadcast is by far away effective because a live video, they can see your facial expressions.
Yeah.
And then number 2, the poster again on social media or in an email or text message, because they can see your facial expressions and try to get a connection like we've talked about. An emotional connection is when living donors feel prompted or inspired to apply to be a donor. And number 3, T-shirt, because you want to become a walking billboard.
Yep.
And then number 4, text on a car. That's what we've just been talking about just now. And and then similarly to a T-shirt, make the text easy to read without fancy fonts and keep it only to 4 to 5 words. The 5th one on my list, and this was hard, but a news channel. Now, I was teetering right here on number 5 with either billboard or news channel.
Okay.
All right, but I went with news channel over billboard because I just feel as though a news channel, TV, if you get on TV, I just find that's going to be more effective than having a billboard, because when someone's driving on a freeway, a highway, and there's a billboard, they don't have a whole lot of time to write down that phone number. Right. And if they're solo and no one else is in the car with them, Jonathan,
right?
They can't. Yeah, they're going to miss it. And so if someone's in the car with them, they can write it down or they can take a photo of the billboard while they're driving by. But a TV, if you're on the news channel on TV, I just find that you're going to reach so many people. Now, the reason why I say this is because I've advocated for people directly who have been on TV, and it skyrockets their Facebook page.
Yes. I've come across many posts that I've seen where people have gotten
Yes.
TV interviews, and
Hmm.
people are drawn to those because it's like, oh wow, I want to see this because they've been actually interviewed by a news station, and
Right.
they're eye grabbing, they're
Uh-huh.
attention getters, and if you get the opportunity to do that, I would not pass it up. If you're a shy person, just try to your best to get over that and do the interview. I'm telling you, the exposure you will get from a news station will be so much more than just
Right.
what you can garner from social media.
I agree.
Um, and once it hits social media, it's going to get even more attention.
Right.
But TV, I mean, think about the power of TV. Getting your story on TV is like no other platform
Top
can, can
notch.
can get
It
it out
really
there.
is. Yeah.
Right. So that would definitely be an opportunity I would take advantage of for sure. I just came across recently a guy's story that he had done a TV interview, and you talk about a heart wrenching, eye grabbing, attention getting story. The way that they edited this story, man, I mean, it literally was like drawing me to tears. It touched my heart. Of course, I'm a kidney transplant recipient,
Yes.
so I can't donate a kidney, but
No, but
but it made me want to, you know.
right, right. And much like the live video, which is because there's a connection that can happen. All right. That's why it was number one on my list. But for the same reason, because they see you on the TV channel, all right, it builds credibility, number one, because it's the news channel. All right, it does. And then they do their reporter, and she's adding to the ambiance with, maybe making it kind of a somber mood,
Yeah,
there's that connection, much like a live video when you do a broadcast, because they're watching you on TV,
yeah,
and there's
oh yeah,
you can build a connection that way, which leads to them following you on social media, and
yeah,
then you post your live TV interview on your social media, and then all of a sudden it just adds more credibility as well because it's a real news channel video on your Facebook page or
yeah,
Instagram or what have you, and it just
yeah.
really helps your cause. It really does. So
Oh, for sure.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so again, it was hard. You know what I mean? Because Billboard, again, I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
saying it's not effective. It was nearly in my top five. I know
Yeah.
there have been some people that have had some success. And so if you're one of them and you have had success with the Billboard, please comment below. Let me know about it and let
Yeah.
me know, let other people know about what you think about your success with billboards and if you've tried it before.
Yeah. Ray Needs a Kidney now has a billboard.
Okay.
Yeah, I seen him post it. Him and Lori. Uh,
Lori.
they, they've
Uh-huh.
they've got a billboard up. So I wish them
Oh, right.
lots of
I
success.
saw that just recently that they got a billboard up. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I advocate for Gretchen Jackson. I don't know if it's still up, but I know that she's had a billboard up recently
Yeah.
um, in Alabama. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. I would say another one compared to the billboard would be a moving truck, like a box truck.
Okay. All right.
Someone was, I've heard it said before. It's not anything original from me, but
Okay.
I've heard I've heard other people talking about it that some companies will allow you to rent space on their trucks, and you can possibly put your picture or story on there. Uh, you know, directing them to either your Facebook page or however you want to do
Whatever.
it. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's another great idea. But this top five that you have, I think, is a very effective top five.
Yeah, and thank you. And again, that's not. It doesn't mean that other methods aren't effective, and that you shouldn't use other methods. Use as many methods as possible.
Yeah,
I just want to be able to kind of talk about what I find. If you're going to pick five, that these would be in my top five, and I'd be happy to give more feedback if you have other questions about what we've discussed here.
yeah,
And I love the comments that we've been getting. I love the feedback and because that way we can continue to give other people that are currently looking for a living donor, you know, give them this information, and then they can start to get their wheels turning. You know what I mean?
oh
Because
yeah,
man, it's exciting when you start to think of things, And then you start to think, wow, I could really do this. And then, man, I could kind of design it this way. And all of a sudden, there's an enthusiasm that builds. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. And you need this, you need enthusiasm. You need people to want to get involved and get engaged, engagement is key to this. The more shares, the more people that can help you
The
get the word
better.
out, the better,
Yes.
so.
Right. And I just wanted at the very end of my little Instagram post here, I put statistically, living donors generally come from local areas.
Yeah.
And so we aim to reach out to as many people as possible, and collaborating with the local newspaper, local TV news channel can be very successful. And so if I know that there are some exceptions to the rule. I know of a living donor that applied to be a donor for somebody who actually lives in California, and the living donor lives elsewhere in the United States. So that does happen, which is why it doesn't hurt to get the message out to as many people as possible. However, statistically, the more success we have when we find somebody within the local region. Wouldn't you say that's generally the case as well?
Oh, for sure. No doubt. Yeah, I would definitely agree with you on that completely.
So you and I, we're in a Facebook group messaging thread that you had. I think you yourself had um, a comment that I really liked, is that when we're using the hashtag, that it's whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, so that we're trying to gear this towards somebody local, that hashtag your city that you're living in. Were you
Yeah.
the one who said that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think what that's going to do is that's going to draw you toward that city of post. So,
Uh-huh.
and it's going to put you in front of a different demographic than what you're normally in. It's going to draw attention to you and your post according to that city. So if you live in Los Angeles, I would hashtag Los Angeles, California,
Right.
Chicago, Illinois.
Right.
And a lot of times these hashtags will auto populate where once you
They do.
start typing in, then and it'll come. If you look down, especially on Instagram, if you look down, you put in CHI, then Chicago will probably pop up, and you just click on it and it'll add right to your post. So it's really simple to do, very easy. But I just thought it was a great idea.
It is a great idea. I love it.
It's actually not my development. I seen actually your brother Jeff start doing it.
Okay.
So I picked it up from Jeff. I thought it was a nifty. I went ahead and did that.
All right. Well, props to my twin brother Jeffrey A. Brown for that, because that's a great idea. It does help kind of drive more people that live locally or in the region, and I love that. You want to be able to find somebody that's nearby, because if you find somebody nearby, you're going to have more success statistically speaking. So Kyle, thanks for commenting, Kyle. Hashtags will also put your posts in front of anyone searching that term. That's a great comment right there, because I suggest to try it out. All right, because I have, and it's so interesting when you put a hashtag, especially on Instagram and Twitter. Facebook, it's still kind of a work in progress, but try it out. And then in the search engine, put hashtag kidney failure and see if your post will show up. For me, it did, especially on Instagram, it did. So try it out and see how it works, and see if you can find your post where you had that hashtag kidney failure, or hashtag living kidney donor search, something like that, and see how it works. It does. Thanks for your feedback, Kyle. That's huge. I love it. All right, so Kathy's saying hashtag not understanding that. So hashtag is a way online, especially with Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook now as well, to direct your traffic. So for example, Kathy, if I want to put on my post hashtag kidney disease, then that's going to allow Facebook to understand that my post is about kidney disease, and that if somebody in the search engine types in kidney disease, then they know my post, because it has the hashtag kidney disease on it, it's going to direct my post to something that someone is searching for kidney disease. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. So
Yeah.
Kyle's got some great comments here. Thanks for chiming in, Kyle, with your great freaking feedback. I wish I had a heart here and I could heart it. You can also put hashtags in the first comment to keep her post looking clean. It will be recognized by the algorithm.
Yeah.
Exactly. So on YouTube, I've done this where I'll put hashtag kidney donor needed, and then I'll put in my title. And so I've already put the hashtag on kidney donor needed, and then it also helps that way. Or in the description, you can do it as well. So there are different ways to do that. That's a great comment, Kyle.
Yep.
All right. So hopefully that makes sense. It's a really good way to market your post so that you can get it seen to the right people.
Yep.
You know, the more specific we can be, the better, because again, even though everybody can be our demographic, all right, I'd like to think that everybody could be a living donor, because really there are lots of healthy people out there. But sometimes if we have something that's directed towards the kidney disease community, then sometimes it'll actually get shared more because it's the same niche. And then if we can share it to somebody who's actually searching about kidney disease because they're interested in becoming a donor, then we're directing it to the right person. So there are all sorts of ways that this will help your post get seen.
Yep. Yes, I totally agree. You'll notice when you hashtag, if you look at the hashtag, I think you can click on the hashtag itself, and it'll show you different posts that have that hashtag, and you'll look at, you'll be in that kind of that same community of other people.
No, you're totally right. That does help you out, and in fact, it'll actually tell you how many people have posted with that hashtag. So, you know, for example, when I've posted something on Facebook that has hashtag kidney failure, that happens to be, by the way, okay. I found if you find a different hashtag that's been hashtag more in the kidney sort of like genre, let me know, because that's the one that I find that's been posted the most is hashtag kidney failure.
Yeah.
So if I'm mistaken, let me know. But that one I find is the one that's been used the most as far as posts go.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. Totally.
Anyway, so Jonathan, man, thank you so much for popping in. Thanks for dropping by and helping me out with this broadcast, man. I totally owe you, brother.
No problem. This background, I apologize. This is not the normal background. You're kind of seeing the Hope with Jonathan behind the scenes here.
Right. I see that. Okay.
But it's basically these are a little sound.
The sound barrier boards.
Yeah, sound barrier. But anyway, I apologize. I was you kind of caught me off guard, but I'm ready in the moment. Anytime you ever need me to.
I appreciate it,
brother.
Thank you, man.
I think it was a great opportunity for me, and you guys check out Hope with Jonathan. I got an interview.
Please do.
This Sunday at 6 Central.
Awesome. Please tune in, guys. Tune into Hope for Jonathan, and you can see him with his guest this upcoming Sunday at what time again?
6 Central.
6 Central, and that would be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please tune in Sunday with Hope with Jonathan.
I'm gonna have a special guest from all the way from Hawaii.
Oh, sweet!
Yeah,
I love it. I've been to. My twin brother Jeff lived in Kauai in 2009, and I visited him there. Man, I love Hawaii. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So, great things that happen to Hope with Jonathan, much like the Warriors Quest, and it's some great opportunities come my way. 2021 is going to be a great year, so I definitely appreciate the connection with you. Appreciate the opportunity to co-host with you, brother.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Thank you again for popping by. Have a great evening. God bless you and your family, okay?
Okay, you do the same. God bless.
Thanks, man. God bless. Bye-bye. Hey, guys, man, we've heard from Jonathan as my co-host. And, again, what we've talked about is my top 5, all right? My top 5 in regards to top 5 ways to find a living kidney donor, a living donor. That I slipped up. I told you I would because I wanted to just say living donor. My top 5 ways to find a living donor. So, again, just as a summary, my top method is living video or live video, living donor live video, poster on social media, number 2, T-shirt, number 3, and then number 4, text on car, and number 5, news channel. Those are my top 5. Billboard was almost my top 5. It's really, if I were to make 6, it'd be Billboard would be 6, but it almost is my top 5. Billboard is still very effective, and there are some other methods too. Comment, please, if you've tried any of these methods. Comment if you've had success with one of them, and comment if you have had success with a different method that I haven't mentioned. But again, thank you so much for watching tonight and learning more about what my top 5 ways to find a living donor. Share this, please, so that we can help somebody who's currently looking for a living donor. And comment below if you can see the dancing little guy in the top right-hand corner. All right. Nice. All right. And then Kathy says, I can see him now. That's funny. Little guy must have gotten tired. No, he was a little tired, but he's back. He's dancing again, Kathy. Great job, Jared. Thank you for all you do. You're welcome. Gladly done. All right. So thanks, Kyle. You can see the little guy dancing. Cool. So, all right. Thank you, guys. Because, again, I want to plug a Christian artist that helped me be inspired, okay, especially today. The last couple days, all right, I saw him on Instagram. He did an Instagram live. So if somebody in the comment section can write hashtag Tauren Wells, TAUREN WLLS, hashtag Tauren Wells. Tauren Wells is the Christian artist that I've been listening to the last couple days. And I asked Alexa, I said, Alexa, play All God's Children on repeat. And I've been listening to it on repeat to get inspired. And it was an inspiring message. Okay, all God's children. All right, so please help me find out what inspires you. All right, and put it in the comment section. I'm inspired to remember that we're all God's children, but because I'm connected to the kidney disease community, all right, this message was profound to me when I was listening to Tauren Wells, because it made me really think about the kidney disease community and how many people are struggling with depression, struggling with physical ailments. So God bless you all. I hope that we all have a tremendous 2021, that we have a great year. Thank you for hashtagging Tauren Wells. He's a great singer. If you get a chance, find him on social media, find him on Spotify, find him on Amazon Music. The song is called All God's Children. It's really good. It's very inspiring. So thank you all for watching tonight. Thanks for being a great support. All right. I'm going to say peace out. I'm going to find the outro before I do that. And again, God bless you all. And let's do this again real soon. Love you all. Mad respect and love for all of you all. Bye-bye. Peace out.